Zeeshan Ali, a non-binary creator in fashion and art, redefines identity and expression. As an inventor and dreamer, he breaks societal constraints, advocating for fluidity and turning his body into a powerful symbol of transformation and visibility.
I'm still discovering. I think that's a discovery that keeps on giving. Each time, each day has a new experience. But from the entirety of my experience till now, I have recognized myself as a spiritual being who connects with the universal ideology of universal essence of the higher power, in a way, if you can say it. I believe in the soul more than the body and the emotion and the mind. I am that I am. I'm not the body, not the emotion, not the soul. I am not the body, not the emotion. I am the soul. That's a learning that I've had, and that has stuck with me for the longest of time. My identity has played a huge and important role in my entire experience of who I am. I think the intention for me throughout the time was since I recognize myself, for a queer person, I think it's being born and then being reborn when you understand your identity. And for me, that was the journey which I had at a maybe 16, 17, 18-year-old. And that's when I kind of really accepted myself. And when I did so, that led to knowing that my existence might not be as similar as a lot of existence that surrounds me. That made me feel lonely at one point of time, absolutely. But from that loneliness also came this idea of I need to find people like me who speak my language, who understand me for myself, beyond the societal norms or gender stereotypes. And due to that, I was able to understand myself and create my experience as I see fit for myself. I think from a very early on, since I can remember, I knew and felt different from the people around me, be it my family, be it my friends. There was always, I was them along with them, but I was also very much not them. And there were similarities, but there were major differences. And when I recognized that, I realized there is something wrong with me. And that was the first thought that comes to anyone's mind, that there is something wrong with me. And that was a phase of my life which I lived for a few years, feeling and knowing that there's something wrong with me. But there was a time where I kind of met a couple of people through, at that point of time, online chat. I don't know. There was Yahoo chat box, and there were spaces like that where you could connect with people, and it was discreet, and you could still hide your identity of who you are and speak. And that was my journey, and I was lucky. There were some horrible experiences as well, but there were some amazing experiences, and I've made friends who are still there with me, and they really helped me because most of my friends were a lot older than me. So I think that's what works for a lot of queer people, to have right mentors, right, to guide them about their feelings and emotions. Thankfully now we have therapies and this and that, which is great because kids now can access them as easily. But when I was growing up, that was not the possibility. But for me, my friends kinda, there's this phrase that we call in this queer culture, bisexual first, gay later. That was the same for me. I think I felt different. The closest to accepting I could go to was accepting that I'm bisexual, and knowing that, I kind of made some friends, and this was around, I think, in my late teens, around 17, 18. And that's when I discovered and I kind of accepted myself thoroughly, that this is who I am, and I'm perfectly fine, happy, and amazing at the same time. This was around the 18th. Sadly but truly, discrimination and prejudice is a part of our lives. Be it a woman, a trans woman, a gay person, a bisexual person, a lesbian, a non binary individual, it is a part of our life. I think I've seen that all my childhood, from being an effeminate person growing up, in my school, in my college, in my adulthood, living my life as working professional. I think it's part of my life. It's something that you breathe in and breathe out. For me, it was also a journey. I think there was an experience that I had gone through. I come from a family where it's a Muslim family, extremely religious, yet loving, extremely loving and understanding to quite a lot of degree. There are certain things we agree to disagree, but I had always been experimental with my clothing, with my style, though that was questioned a lot earlier. But moving on, I kind of realized I dress up or I wear things for myself and not for anybody else. For an example, when I was growing up, there was no social media. The access to information and knowledge was minuscule or barely there. But now, like back then, we would go to these small meets of 10 queer people meeting together and discussing life and understanding how to function and live in this society. But now, that exists on social media, that exists everywhere. The communities are built by every single individual in a way. So I think that has changed how people perceive things in a lot many ways. Obviously, there will be two sides of the story. Social media can be a great space and also can be a horrible space as well. So to see the positive, like I have a lot of my friends who are highly body positive, who speak about body, who speak about stretch marks, who speaks about cellulites and everything, and they celebrate that, which is so powerful. I think that so I started off with doing art on my body. I could never draw or sketch or things like that. I could paint my body somehow magically. So I started playing with makeup and started playing with body paints and started painting my body. Being able to use yourself as your own muse was something very alluring to me, because we see artists taking different muses to work with, which is great, and I enjoy that. But for me, it started myself being my own muse, and then it shifted to having more muses. I see myself as a non binary individual. Some people understand that, some people don't understand that. Earlier, I would try and fight and argue to people to understand and accept me. There was a period of time. But then I let it go. When it comes to shaming, the first thing that the person who gets shamed goes through the trauma, right? For me, I realize it is a lot easier if you decode that shaming of your own. If it doesn't affect you, no matter how much ever someone is going to shame, it ain't going to bother you. Absolutely. I am surrounded by a handful of really amazing human beings that I trust, that are loyal to me, that give me guidance, and vice versa. And I think having that for any individual, specifically for queer people, it is so vital. It is extremely important to have people that can understand you and are there for you without a reason and a purpose. They are just there for you. And I think having that was my biggest victory. Confusion always will be there. Even now, for me, I don't think so. I've fully decoded who I am, what my identity is, right? And it's ever learning process. And at this point of time, this is where I see myself and I feel comfortable, and that's amazing. Might not be the case maybe 2 years down the line, 5 years down the line. So know where you are at the moment. Find peace. Also find people that can understand that or question that even in a healthy manner. So I think that's very essential. I was going through this phase and understanding and thinking, if I am a trans woman, right? And I was thinking about it. Obviously, there are things that come your way and you get influenced by, but always take a step back, center yourself, question yourself, and have people around you who can help you with that. So I think it's very essential for any young queer person. Have people that can love and respect you and support and guide you.